Theodore Roosevelt saved the United States of America from a communist revolution. I know many people call Teddy a socialist himself, but hear me out. If you think crony capitalism or corporatism is bad today, it pales in comparison than what it was during the late 19th century. The government at the time was basically owned by the corporations through the political machine, and the conditions for workers were arguably worse than slavery in some cases. There is a reason you've never heard of these presidents. It's because they were all basically puppets of the corporations and did very little to change the status quo. The federal government had very little power compared to the states. So the corporations used the power of the state court injunctions to physically force workers to work under a labor strike. This is why socialists falsely believe that capitalism needs the state to physically force workers to work, which is obviously not true. But my boy Teddy had a solution to that problem. But you may be wondering, how did Teddy Roosevelt break through the political machine and become president against all will of the corporations? He basically snuck through the cracks with a bit of luck. Theodore Roosevelt became governor of New York after becoming a war hero in the Spanish-American War. After the election, Roosevelt displayed his characteristic independence and unwillingness to buckle to the pressure of political bosses and the political machine. So to stop Teddy from running for a second term in the governor's office, they offered Teddy Roosevelt the vice presidency under McKinley, which at the time, the VP position was a completely useless role. The only use a VP had is in the small chance the president would die. The president had been shot and killed by an anarcho-socialist. To the shock and against the will of the political machine and the corporations, Theodore Roosevelt became the President of the United States of America. Roosevelt realized the horrible working conditions and the civil unrest caused by the state police physically putting down strikes and restricting the free market to work properly. So he started to break up these huge corporations through trust busting and implemented needed regulations to protect the safety of the worker and consumer. While doing all of this, he added a huge amount of power to the federal government and specifically the executive branch. But Teddy fixed the problem many other nations that fell to communism didn't. Sadly, Roosevelt's solution was not permanent. The new federal power created by Roosevelt has just been self-expanding with almost every president since. Many unnecessary and stupid regulations have incentivized the rise of crony capitalism and corporatism once again. Alongside the rise of corporatism, we see the rise of socialist ideas flooding through society. To permanently solve corporatism, we need to take the government out of the market, prevent government violence against strikes, and promote open shop unions. This will let the free market do its wonders. In conclusion, if McKinley was never assassinated, Roosevelt wouldn't have been able to stop corporatism and help the conditions of the working class. And who knows how long the state could have oppressed the workers before a full-blown communist revolution would have taken place here in the US like it did in Russia and China, killing millions in the name of a false ideology. And keep this Theodore Roosevelt quote in mind. Whenever socialists say they want to seize the means of production, aka steal the means of production, the man who will steal for you will steal from you. So hope you guys learned something, and if you disagree with anything I said in this video, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. I'll probably read them all since this is my first video on this channel and there's probably not going to be too many comments, so comment away and I'll respond and we can have discussions about what could have happened, maybe what would have happened if Theodore Roosevelt would have never became president, and if I'm even right, because who knows, I could be wrong. This is a thought that no one else has proposed that I've heard of, and I've looked all over the internet. It seems like no one else had this idea, and it makes a lot of sense to me, but does it make sense to you? Comment down below, and leave a like and share this video because, again, this is my first video on this channel, so let's get this out there, and yeah, hopefully I can make some more fun history, ideology, economic videos in the future. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.